In the journey of life, each of us must face inevitable sufferings. But have you ever wondered, where do those pains come from? There are sufferings that seem insurmountable, but they are actually opportunities for us to grow. The Buddha pointed out the four greatest sufferings in human life, each of which carries valuable lessons. Are you curious about these sufferings and how to overcome them? Let's explore and find the path to peace of mind, where suffering is no longer a barrier, but a bridge to a deeper understanding of ourselves. Because only when we clearly perceive our sufferings can we move forward with strength and perseverance. 1. Not seeing through yourself. This is one of the greatest sufferings of human beings, when we cannot understand ourselves, cannot see what really exists in our souls. Sometimes daily life becomes a series of tasks and responsibilities that we rush into like a machine, without taking the time to stop and reflect on ourselves. This makes us lose our way, not knowing who we really are, what we want, and what we need to be happy. Wounds from the past, worries and insecurities deep in the subconscious can exist without us realizing it. They can silently affect the way we think, feel, and behave, but are not understood or resolved. Not seeing through ourselves makes us easily caught up in the vicious cycle of life, repeating mistakes and pain that we do not know how to escape. This lack of clarity makes us feel disoriented, disconnected from ourselves, and even lose faith in our ability to change or grow as individuals. Or 2. Regretting the past. Regretting the past is considered one of the four greatest human sufferings in Buddhist philosophy. This suffering comes from our constant regret for lost successes and opportunities, leading to a feeling of mental torment. When we reflect on the past, we often feel guilty and regretful, wondering, if only I could have done things differently. These thoughts not only make us sad, but also reduce our ability to focus on the present and new opportunities. This suffering also affects our mental and physical health, and can cause anxiety and depression. When the mind cannot live in the present moment, we easily miss out on the joys and precious experiences of life. Furthermore, idealizing the past, only remembering the happy moments and forgetting the difficulties, creates an unfair comparison with the present, making us feel that our current life is not good enough. To overcome this suffering, Buddhism advises us to practice mindfulness, focus on the present, and accept what is happening without judgment. Meditation and observing the mind help us realize that the past cannot be changed, but how we react to it can. Learning to let go and forgive ourselves is also an important step to freeing our souls from the burden of the past. Finally, accepting the suffering from regret is a natural part of life. When we know how to accept, we open the door to peace and happiness, thereby building a brighter and more meaningful future. 3. Not overcoming failure. Failure is an inevitable part of life. Everyone experiences failures, from small everyday things to major life-changing events. However, the greatest suffering comes when we cannot get up after these failures. Instead of seeing it as part of the journey to maturity, many people fall into the trap of blaming themselves, doubting their abilities, and gradually losing faith in themselves. When faced with failure, emotions such as sadness, depression, and disappointment often overwhelm. This makes people easily fall into a pessimistic mentality and feel more and more lost in life. They may compare themselves to those around them, wondering why they cannot achieve success like them, which leads to inferiority complex and self-esteem. Instead of accepting that failure is a natural part of life, they begin to feel insecure, worried about the future, and hesitant to face new challenges. However, it is truly unfortunate that people who cannot overcome failure often miss the opportunity to learn and grow from those experiences. Each fall carries a valuable lesson, helping us understand ourselves better, our abilities, and our weaknesses that need to be improved. If we only complain and do not dare to stand up, we will lose the opportunity to explore our own potential and find new promising paths. Accepting failure not only helps us build resilience, but also inspires courage to face future challenges. It is a process of growing up, where we learn to love ourselves even when facing difficulties. When we know that failure is just a step on the road to conquering our dreams, we will gradually realize that life is not just about successes or failures, but a journey full of valuable lessons and experiences. In the end, not overcoming failure will make us stuck in painful memories and lose the strength to move forward. Only when we learn to accept, stand up, and move forward can we live a more fulfilling and meaningful life, find inner strength and the desire to explore the good things that life brings. 4. Not knowing how to let go. The inability to let go of past sorrows and worries makes people carry a heavy burden on their souls, like a heavy rock weighing down on their lives. The suffering of not knowing how to let go is pointed out by the Buddha as one of the deep causes of suffering in human life. This suffering mainly comes from our inability to let go of past sorrows, worries, and painful memories. Instead of letting those painful experiences pass, we often hold on to them in our minds, as if they were an inseparable part of ourselves. When we cannot let go of negative emotions, we create huge mental burdens for ourselves. These thoughts and emotions are like a heavy rock weighing down on our lives, affecting all our actions, thoughts, and emotions. We become rigid, unable to feel joy and happiness in the present, because our minds always return to past pains. This creates a vicious cycle where anxiety and sadness are always present, preventing us from finding peace and fulfillment in life. Not knowing how to let go also leads to a closed mind. Unresolved pain and hurt will make people become cold to those around them. They can lose the ability to build close relationships because their minds are always stuck in the past and cannot open their hearts to receive new good things. This lack of social relationships not only increases the feeling of loneliness, but also leads to mental suffering. Furthermore, the inability to let go of painful memories can cause people to develop psychological problems, such as anxiety and depression. These emotions not only affect the mind, but also have a negative impact on physical health. When we live in the torment of the past, the body will experience stress, creating a closed circle of mental and physical suffering. To escape this suffering, Buddhism recommends practicing mindfulness and compassion. Mindfulness helps us become more aware of our emotions and thoughts, thereby helping us distinguish between what can be changed and what cannot. By living in the present, we can begin to accept the past without letting it affect our current life. Furthermore, practicing self-compassion is also important. This means forgiving ourselves for past mistakes and accepting that everyone makes mistakes. When we learn to love and care for ourselves, we can gradually let go of our pain and find peace in our hearts. Ultimately, letting go does not mean forgetting the past, but accepting it as a part of life. We can learn from those experiences to grow and mature. When we learn to let go, we will be freer, live more fully, and be able to fully embrace the good things in life. Letting go is not only a personal journey, but also a way to open up to the world around us and find true happiness. The teachings of the Buddha emphasize that in life, we need to let go of negative emotions such as greed, anger, and ignorance. These emotions not only cause suffering to ourselves, but also hurt those around us. Greed, anger, and ignorance make people chase after endless desires that can never be satisfied. When we let greed rule us, we often not only want more, but also do not know enough about what we have, which leads to disappointment and insecurity. Moreover, jealousy and envy of other people's success only increase our own suffering. Instead of being happy and respectful of other people's achievements, we are caught in a negative spiral, which only makes our souls heavier and more miserable. This not only damages our relationships with others, but also makes us forget the good things in our own lives. The Buddha also advised that, in order to live happily, people need to develop compassion and empathy for those around them. When we can put ourselves in the shoes of others, understand and feel their pain and joy, we will easily build better and more meaningful relationships. We have explored together the four greatest sufferings in life and the valuable lessons they bring. Hopefully, through these shares, you will find comfort and motivation to overcome your own challenges. If you have any thoughts or experiences you want to share, don't hesitate to comment below. Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next meaningful content. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and see you in the next videos.